The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Hi everyone, I'm your host, Jayden Thibeault, and you're listening to Basketball with JUT. Today I'm going to provide you with basketball updates, especially how the Boston Celtics are doing, and how they're doing as a team. I'll also be talking about all the players, and who is doing good, and who needs to play better. I'll be adding 3 questions of basketball trivia. I am also going to update you about the whole NBA, and who is leading the league in stats. I'll touch a little bit about the coaches, and how this team has been so successful. I will then talk about the upcoming games, and who we should be worried about, and who needs to play better, and who is on the injured list. These are all going to be really fun topics in this episode, so you don't want to miss it. So make sure you get your snacks and get ready to enjoy. Time for business. First topic we're talking about is the different players like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis, and Drew Holiday, Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard, and Sam Hauser, and all of the amazing role and bench players. This team overall this season and in general have been really effective when they're on the court together. They could end up being one of the best super teams of all time. This is because they received a lot of All-Star votes. They almost all made it as a starting 5, which has never almost happened. Celtics bench has been the most productive every game as they always put up a lot of good hustle and good plays. In fact, they'll be one of the highest scoring benches of all time possibly. They keep this up, so go bench. Celtics always put up so much points, but I'm not really surprised as they do this every game, even when they lose. Celtics star Jason Tatum is always maintaining an MVP level play. He always gets a lot of votes. He should get a lot more credit and love. I don't hear many people talking about him outside of Celtics fans, even though people across the country should be talking about him in a really good way. But that's why I'm here, guys. Fans always make every home game a sellout. They are never disappointed usually, as they win at a high level every game most of the times. Joe Mazzulla also deserves all the flowers and praise for the season Celtics, as he is like the biggest reason for all of our success. He always makes a brilliant plays, and they execute at one of the highest rates I've ever seen in my life. He's a really creative and young head coach. I have no doubt he will be a coach of the year a couple of times in his career. He has a bright future ahead of himself. Celtics also 46-12 for the record, as they are headed by 7 games in the East in front of the Cavs, and it's not really close though. Some people could say they have already won the East, got the first seed. Celtics have won the most games in the NBA, and they could be the best Celtics team of all time if they won the championship. But if they don't win the championship, then they will be known as chokers. This is the Celtics' best chance to win the NBA championship, in 10 or 11 years since they won the 2008 championship. Now, who's ready for some fun NBA trivia questions? Who is the shortest player to ever win a dunk contest in NBA history? A. Muggsy Bogues. B. Spud Webb. C. A. Robinson. Or D. Kemba Walker. First, before I go to answer, I would like to go to the commercial break, so stay tuned because you won't want to miss it.
Hi there, I'm Gail Devins, and join me as we discover all the businesses that made Easton great. This is a wonderful, wonderful place. I cannot wait. I want to do it. I want to go there. I am definitely coming back, and I know you will too, because I'm telling you something. It is absolutely amazing in here. What a wonderful way to discover Easton. It's right here in Easton. Showing at noon on Mondays, 2 p.m. on Tuesdays, and 11 a.m. on Fridays, only on ECAT.
Here we go. My name is Harrison Young, and after 13 years of talk show experience, I seek to bring you the best in interviews with some of the very best guests around, including And there we are. Experts.
I've seen thousands of demons actually come out of the mirror one time.
Wow. Musical guests and artists.
If I say how I feel, would you really listen?
And interesting characters of all types.
I threw that kid across the classroom. Look, he didn't try that ever again.
Wow. Join me at Topic Time on your Eastern cable station anytime they want to play it. And from what I understand, that's quite a few times a day. And I love it.
Welcome back, everyone, from our commercial break. And if you guessed B, Spud Webb, then you would be correct, because he actually did this a while ago, as he's only 5'6", which is actually extremely tiny for an NBA player. But way to go, Spud. Next, let's talk about some games they've had recently, about the players and team stats, also predicting the next game. One of the games was against the 76ers, who were slowing down the season. Celtics won the game 117-99. Celtics were, of course, favorites to win this game because the 76ers don't have the best player, who is Joel Embiid. Embiid is injured for at least the next month, as they have a 76-team record without him, which is awful and terrible. The 76ers need all the help they can get with Embiid not playing due to injury. The Celtics are on a hot streak, and the 76ers are just another target for them to crush as they beat them in every category. The 76ers were just burnt in this game as they lost by almost 20 points. The Celtics played a really good game overall. Celtics, they had really good shooting in that game, as they shot 53% from the field, 92% from the free throw line, but struggled heavily from three, only shooting 5 of 22, which is 23%. The 76ers, on the other hand, shot only 39% from the field, 33% from three, and 92% from the free throw line. 76ers just did not play compared to the Celtics' energy, and the Celtics had a bunch of good plays compared to the 76ers, who did not have that much amazing eye-dropping plays in that game. The 76ers also have lost a lot of games in their past, as the new additions have been playing really well, but it's not enough to win them, which stinks, because they do have a really talented roster. I was really rooting for them in some games. Celtics fans also really played a big role, as they get really loud during each home game. They always make a different type of atmosphere every game. Fans also almost scream or make noise when the opposing team shoots the ball, which is really effective. Overall, I have been really impressed with their composure. I have to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff, and especially Joe Mazzulla, because he always makes plays that no other team expects or could stop him from doing. Next, I would like to talk about the team overall this season, what they need to get better, my honest opinion of the players that are good and bad this season. Team overall is really good this season, as they are 46-12 currently. They're a really good team. They're putting out monster stats as a team, and as a whole, they are all getting a lot better as the season progresses. The team is top 10 in both offense and defense, which is amazing to be really good at both categories. I also really think Joe Mazzulla is 10 times more confident in himself and his guys to make all the big plays that win you games. Hope all the fans are really proud of all the improvement for the Celtics team, even though they already have high expectations to be really good this season. Celtics are on a hot winning streak right now with 9. They deserve every one of them as they fought hard in each one. Tatum is in the MVP conversation with top guys in the league because he is growing and improving so much over the course of the season. Jaylen Brown is an amazing player as a number 2 option on a championship level team, and he has improved ever since the All-Star break as he's putting up monster numbers. Brown is not turning the ball over, which is, to me, is really good and what you want to see from him. He's made 3 All-Star teams, as he will only keep on getting better throughout his career. Hopefully it remains with the Celtics. I want to shout out some of our other players now, like Horford, who's always consistent and never gives you a bad game. He's always solid no matter who they play. Horford can make big shots after big shots without feeling any pressure, and it's thanks to his experience as he played for 16 seasons. Derek White, Porzingis, and Holiday have been playing great as starters around Brown and Tatum. They are all really good fits and chemistry, and to me, they are one of the most fun teams to watch in the past 10 years, which is somewhat surprising. They can all heat up in any game or any quarter, be the number 1 option, and you can't forget about Pritchard, who's been a top 7 to 6 player for this astonishing team. Now time for our second NBA trivia question. What NBA team was the first to win 70 games in one season? Is it A, the Bulls, B, the Celtics, C, the Warriors, or D, the Rockets? Before I tell you the answer, I'd like to go to commercial break, so stay tuned because you won't want to miss it.
There's a storm.
Join me, Priscilla Almquist-Olsen, to explore the town of Easton and its interesting, engaging, ordinary, and extraordinary people, and meet a smorgasbord of guests, including artists, authors, musicians, business owners, community organizations, clergy, local leaders, etc., etc., etc. Community Forum at 3 p.m. on Thursdays and 1:30 p.m. on Saturdays. See you then.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, residents of Easton, friends and neighbors. This is Bill Ames,
co-host with Priscilla Almquist-Olsen of the Film Connection.
on ECAT now for over 20 years. We're very proud of that.
And we like to interview guests from Easton who have been involved in the film business.
Actors, producers. We're very fortunate today to have a producer of a film.
Hi everyone, welcome back from the commercial break. And if you guessed A, the Bulls, then you would be correct. Because they did this in the 90s when Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman, and all those players were still on the team. They were like a super team. My parents lived in Chicago at that time and said the city was rocking during the games. Now let's talk about the Celtics, who are 46-12, first in the East, as they are followed by the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are second in the East, with a record of 38-19. They are a top 5 team in the league. Cavaliers have star players Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. They have solid role players Max Strus, Jordan Niang, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, and Evan Mobley. They have one of the best deep rosters in the whole NBA. They have J.B. Bickerstaff as their head coach. Cavs have also been playing pretty good basketball over the last week, as they still remain ahead of some of the best teams in the East. The Cavaliers hit a crazy game-winning shot by Max Strus against the Mavericks, and it was the second longest game-winning shot in NBA history. Cavaliers have been solid as they have a deep point in Jared Allen, Mitchell, who is definitely in the MVP race. In the West, we have the two best teams with the Thunder and Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are the first seed in the West, who have a record of 41-17. They are doing really amazing and well for themselves right now. Anthony Edwards is of course going nuclear for the past week, as he's putting up amazing stats like always. Timberwolves have been playing pretty good basketball ever since the All-Star break. Rudy Gobert is the favorite to win Depoy of the year. Thunder, as of right now, are the second seed in the West. They have 41-17. Still really good though. They've been playing really good recently, as Shea has been putting up MVP numbers, and Chet Holmgren is still a force to be reckoned with, as he's only a rookie, which is absurd. Thunder are led by some amazing players, with SGA and Holmgren, and the bench players like J-Dub and Giddey. They've had one of the best teams since the All-Star break, which is no surprise to me, at least. In time for the NBA as a whole news, we will be talking about who's doing the best for all-around players and who's leading the league in every category. There's a lot of news in the NBA, so listen up. The Knicks are still having a lot of injuries with Randall, OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson, who are all being injured. There are a lot of players who are playing really well now, like Giannis, Luka, Halliburton, and Leonard. There have been some blowout wins, like the Raptors beating the Nets, Thunder beating the Clippers, Pelicans beating the Rockets, Nuggets beating the Wizards, Warriors beating the Lakers, Thunder beating the Wizards, and the Nuggets beating the Trailblazers. Let's talk about some stats. Luka, SGA, Giannis, Mitchell, and Durant all lead the league in scoring for top 5 points this season. Sabonis, Gobert, Davis, Jokic, and Durant all lead the league in rebounds for the top 5 this season. For the top 5 assist players this year, it is Halliburton, Young, Doncic, Jokic, and Sabonis. The top 5 players with the most blocks this season are Wembanyama, Kessler, Lopez, Holmgren, and Davis. Last but not least, the top 5 players for steals are Shea, Mitchell, Fox, Leonard, and Thibeault. Now those are some amazing stats. Overall, the NBA has been really fun this season, as there have been a lot of close and high-scoring games this season. There's also a lot of game winners, and a lot of great highlights for different players, and a lot of standouts who have really improved. Who's ready for a final NBA trivia question? Which NBA team has made the most appearances in the whole finals NBA history? Is it A, Celtics, B, the Lakers, C, the Heat, or D, the Pistons? Before I tell the answer, I would like to go to commercial break, so stay tuned because you won't want to miss the last answer.
Hello and welcome to Easton News. I'm Joe Taft.
And I'm Jack Ryan, and together we bring you everything you need to know about Easton, including politics.
The town of Easton is undertaking a crucial public safety and public works facilities replacement project to enhance essential services for the community.
Community events.
Mark your calendars and get your costumes ready. The Easton Food Pantry will be hosting a Halloween parade.
And sports.
Boys soccer stayed hot, defeating Stoughton 2-1. That was the team's 5th straight division title and 4th in a row in the Davenport.
With APCSM guest segment Pet of the Week.
Hi, I'm Katie with the Animal Protection Center, and today we have a little Iris.
With help from special correspondent Wyatt Fain. Join us
for Easton News.
Playing 6 o'clock Friday, Saturday, and Sundays.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of For the Love of Words.
After a 3-year hiatus, join me, John Holgerson, and
Priscilla Almquist Olsen,
as we interview poets and musicians.
Could you give the audience a little summary of your background as a child?
When I turned 7 or so, we were car bombed. That stuck out.
And have them share their love of words.
Sometimes I wonder, do you ever think of me?
A thin broth of moonlight caught in the trees spreads across the garden brush, so one side of every stick shimmers while the other sides melt into one another, a mass grave of cherry, pear, and pine.
For the Love of Words at 7 p.m. on Thursdays.
Hi everyone, and welcome back from the commercial break. And if you guessed B, the Lakers, then you would be correct. Lakers have actually had the most final appearances out of any team because they've had so many good teams and stacked rosters. Alright, let's talk about some more Celtics games they've had recently. Celtics played the Bulls, and they won 129-112 as they dominated Chicago, and Chicago, funny enough. Celtics outplayed the Bulls in the second half, because the first half, Bulls were only down by a couple, so they could have still won. Bulls in the second half just started to crumble apart, just like they do in a lot of games. Sorry, Grandpa. The Bulls overall played a decent game, as it is hard for any team to beat them in any game. Celtics starting 5, of course, had all really good games, as did some of their bench players, such as Pritchard, Hauser, and Cornette. Bulls players had a solid game with Nikola Vucevic putting up a monster 22 points, along with 14 rebounds, DeMar DeRozan putting up a good mid-range display. Kobe White, Andre Drummond, Alex Caruso, and Artusumo all had solid good overall games as a supporting cast around DeMar DeRozan. Now let's talk about the last game, which was against the New York Knicks. Celtics won in New York 116-102 in a good game. Celtics overall played a really good game. They had good chemistry and really good teamwork, which is what you want to see, especially from Tatum. Starting 5 had about 95 to 97 points in the game, which was almost outscoring the whole Knicks team. The bench had a very quiet game, but they still played decent with Horford leading the way for the bench. Good veteran leader along with Pritchard, getting 3 big rebounds. Knicks players all played wonderful, Bunch leading the way with 34 points, 9 assists, along with amazing good defense, so you could say he was doing it all in that game. The supporting cast had good games with 3 other players double figures, even without 3 of the starters due to injury. There was a lot of good plays like different blocks and dunks by both teams, the Celtics putting up 9 threes in the third quarter alone. There was a lot of impressive hard layups that each player was taking, along with all 5 starters being in double figures. Well, that's all we have time for today, basketball fans. Thanks for listening, everyone. I hope you can join me next time on Basketball with JUT Podcast. Bye, everyone.